Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Bitcoin News Hour, brought to you by Cafe Bitcoin, the most active Bitcoin club on Clubhouse. During the Bitcoin News Hour, we will cover all the latest headlines in Bitcoin. But this isn't your normal network news show where they talk and you just listen. Today's headlines will be presented and discussed by you, the members of Cafe Bitcoin. To participate in the Bitcoin News Hour, simply change your avatar to the headline you'd like to talk about. Today's moderators will then bring you up from the audience. You'll get 1 to 2 minutes to introduce the headline and give everyone the gist of the story. And then everyone will discuss the news before we move on to the next headline. Now, before we get started, do us a favor and click the plus sign at the bottom right of your screen to invite anyone you know who might enjoy this show. And if you're new to Cafe Bitcoin, click on Cafe Bitcoin at the top left and join the club. You can also visit cafebitcoin.club to find our full schedule of events, as well as a fantastic list of beginner Bitcoin resources. And now, get your headlines ready because it's time for the Bitcoin News Hour.
So with that being said, we'll go ahead and start with Shelly. Please take it away. We'll go ahead and start the Bitcoin News Hour with.
Absolutely. Welcome, everybody. Just going to do a quick rundown of the CNBC. Coinbase's revenue tripled from last quarter as the prices skyrocketed. In Q1, Coinbase reported earnings per share of 3.05, reported as of Wednesday. It also brought in $1.8 billion in revenue, up from $585 million in the fourth quarter of 2020 and $191 million a year ago. So rapid growth for them. The shares were down about 4% and after hours trading on Thursday, despite revenue and net income skyrocketing in the first quarter. That resulted. No, that part's not important. So pretty much that's the main gist of it. It says that Coinbase's fate is tethered to the performance of Bitcoin. Roughly 94% of the company's net revenue in the first quarter came from transaction fees from trading. And in an introductory note, the company noted that Bitcoin prices doubled during the quarter and either tripled. So with that being said, we know how they make their money is primarily from traders and their fees. And that is probably because most people don't know about the pro version. This is Shelly, and I'm done speaking.
Thanks, Shelly, for that update. All right, Teddy, since you have Elon Musk as your profile pic, go ahead in case somebody's been sleeping under a rock and doesn't know what's going on with Elon. Please.
Elon Musk is the GOAT troll of all trolls, and he is doing troll things right now by talking smack about energy consumption and Bitcoin, and who knows why he's doing it. He's an absolute psychopath, and I love crazy people because I'm.
Yeah, so can you explain what he did?
Yeah, sure. He went out and said that Bitcoin is bad for the environment. That its energy consumption is going to negatively impact the world as we know it, and that they're not going to accept Bitcoin as payment on their vehicles anymore at Tesla. And I'm sure that there was some bureaucratic reasons. The subsidies that Tesla was getting from the government are probably no more if he continues to promote the end of the U.S.
Alrighty, thanks, Teddy. I'll go ahead and do my story again. If you guys have any stories you want to cover, change your profile picture to the new story you would like to cover, and raise your hand. I'll bring you up on stage. It is the Bitcoin News Hour, and MicroStrategy has disclosed a $15 million Bitcoin purchase Thursday, as it has bought 270 more Bitcoins, or 71 to be exact. Average price of $55,387 per Bitcoin, even as Bitcoin price dropped even lower. This is pretty much bullish news. Michael Saylor is a true hodler, and he buys the dips just like we all do. And I think it's good that we got this story after all the FUD with Elon Musk. And it should be an example of what we all should do. Buy the dips. Who cares what anybody else is doing? Bitcoin is going to go to the moon with or without Elon, or with or without you. So hopefully you guys bought the dips. And with that being said, we'll jump to.
Yes. So just to counter all this, energy FUD, some actual real facts. Argo blockchain buys hydro data centers to realize green Bitcoin mining vision. So Argo blockchain purchased, as the title says, some hydro-powered data centers up in Quebec, Canada. And this is part of their long-term vision of having a green mining operation. They also already have mining centers down in Texas, of which majority of the energy is from renewable sources, namely wind and solar. The article goes on to say more facts about how low-cost aspect of energy is essential because Bitcoin mining is a free market, meaning that miners will always gravitate towards the cheapest energy sources available. And with the correct incentives, nation states can proactively empower Bitcoin mining pools to shift even more to energy sources that are less detrimental to our planet, accelerating the entire world's energy transition to renewables with clean energy production and storage. So that's some of the real.
And I will echo Justin's story there, since I had the same story. We're bringing real mining news from the ground, things that are actually happening out there, not just speculating on sell-offs and Elon pumps and dumps. So miners are still investing millions and millions of dollars into green energy infrastructure to support and expand their mining capabilities.
Awesome. Can you and Justin elaborate on Taproot? I did see that. I did see some Taproot news. My hands are a little full right now, but if you guys could elaborate or find that story and please cover it. I did see a lot of the nodes.
So yeah, so I believe that the second cycle or the second period of the difficulty adjustment begins, and so now they have another 2 weeks about for the signaling.
Yeah, the network difficulty adjusted up 21 point, I think it was 4% last night. So massive adjustment in difficulty, the largest since 2014. But it's also just a rebound from the drop in hash rate over the last two periods as well. But we are also at an all-time high of hash rate as well. So, and that start of the new 2 week difficulty adjustment, like Justin says, is the start of the next Taproot signaling period. And I don't know specifically where we're at for a percentage, but I know anecdotally that the majority of the miners have said they will be signaling if they aren't already signaling. So it's going to happen.
Awesome. Thanks for the news. Does anybody want to chime in on that in general? If not, we'll move on to, I think Shelly has a new story. Is that correct? No?
Yeah, I'm driving. I could recap it again, but same story.
No, you're good. Let's see here. We do have a few different stories. I guess we can go over this Facebook back DM partners with Silvergate Bank to issue US dollar stablecoin. So it is pretty bullish. I'll cover this news. Facebook is still in the works of having their own digital currency, in my opinion, and I'll actually open up this and read it to you guys. So let me go ahead and do that. The Facebook linked group is building a stablecoin and is partnering with Silvergate Bank to launch a US dollar peg stablecoin. DM Network is a US subsidiary of the association and will run DM payments network and registry as a money service business with financial crimes enforcement network, while Silvergate will be the formal issuer of the US dollar stablecoin. Silvergate will also manage the reserve backing the token. Pretty much just bullish news. I know everybody heard about the Libra coin with Facebook, so I think they're going to take another route. And this is bullish news for Bitcoin because this is just them diving into the cryptocurrency space, and hopefully we can get more people into the space. All roads lead to Bitcoin. If you have a news story or want to present a news story, change your photo ID to a news story. Photo ID, change your profile pic to a news story, and we'll go ahead and bring you up on stage, and then we can just chat about it. And today is, again, Thursday, May 13th, and this is the Bitcoin News Hour. So if anybody wants to change their profile pic, go ahead and do.
Did you guys see that or discuss yet that Binance is under investigation now by the IRS, Finance US? So the FUD and the regulators is ramping up for sure. So they're going after the exchanges now too.
You can see my picture. I was just going to bring that one up.
Oh, nice.
Thanks. We'll go ahead and jump to you, Ed. Please.
Yeah, I haven't really totally dug into this story yet,
If
but
you want,
that's
if you want to
correct.
read it out with us, if you want to read the story,
Yeah, sure.
perfect.
So what it says, this was broken by Bloomberg. The headline is Binance faces probe by U.S. money laundering and tax sleuths. Binance Holdings is under investigation by the Justice Department and IRS, ensnaring the world's biggest cryptocurrency exchange in U.S. efforts to root out illicit activity that's thrived in the red hot but mostly unregulated market. As part of the inquiry, officials who probe money laundering and tax offenses, this is the key part, have sought information from individuals with insight into Binance's business, according to people with knowledge of the matter who asked not to be named because the probe is confidential. Led by Changpeng Zhao, a charismatic tech executive who relishes promoting tokens on Twitter and media interviews, Binance has leapfrogged rivals since he co-founded in 2017. The firm, like the industry it operates in, has succeeded largely outside the scope of government oversight. Binance is incorporated in the Cayman Islands and has an office in Singapore, but says it lacks a single corporate headquarters. Chainalysis, a blockchain forensics firm whose clients include U.S. federal agencies, concluded last year that among transactions that it examined, more funds tied to criminal activity flowed through Binance than any other crypto exchange. And then there's some comments by a Binance spokesperson. We take our legal obligations seriously and engage with regulators and law enforcement in a collaborative fashion. We have worked hard to build a robust compliance program that incorporates AML and tools used by financial institutions to detect and address suspicious activity. And then it just kind of goes on to describe how potentially cryptocurrency can be used in money laundering, et cetera. My take on this is it's unclear, it's vague, because this occurs all the time. And I've watched a video with, IRS agents and FBI. It was actually through the Harvard Law School Blockchain Association, right? The government will identify a suspicious transaction and then work with, Coinbase or whomever to identify that transaction and get the information, whether it's through a subpoena or whatever, so that they can, close that account and try and identify who it is. So question whether this is an investigation into Binance itself, the way that's worded, that they're they're probing people who have knowledge of the business, but is it a probe into the Binance business itself, or is it just, they're probing because they're trying to identify bad actors who have Binance accounts or laundering money? There's a huge difference between that. And I wouldn't be surprised if, this headline might be that and not, a larger investigation into Binance itself, but I don't know.
Well, if your platform facilitates, these types of transactions, and you didn't do, even listen to your own AML if it showed up, that these were bad actors, it does not make.
Yeah, I think you have a problem. Sure, if you're not, doing what the law requires with respect to AML KYC, sure, I think that's problematic. But I think the article's a little bit unclear. But I wouldn't be surprised if that's that might be a common thing. I don't know. It sounds like they have kind of loosey goosey compared to other exchanges, might be a little loosey goosey with this kind of stuff. So that's why they're being probed. But it's kind of a vague article, but it's interesting in any event. But these exchanges, like the spokesperson did say, they do work with the government to identify bad actors. But yeah, I think you're right. If they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing under the law, they could have a problem.
Yeah, a couple interesting notes there is that it's the IRS, not the SEC, which is investigating them. So the tax man is obviously just making sure and looking for their tax dollars. And then it's Binance US and not actually Binance. So obviously the company that CZ spun off just to start business in the US, I think it was only last year. And then correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Brian Brooks, the former comptroller of the currency, is now directly working for Binance US. So that's a huge in for the regulators in the U.S. government and the company. So lots going on with Binance and Binance US and CZ. As always, he's always in the thick of it, in the middle of all this stuff. So
Yeah, I mean, I think it's
Yeah,
interesting because we've seen these types of requests from the IRS with regards to user transactions, looking for people who weren't paying their taxes. But this certainly seems a little bit different. I would agree.
yeah, that's fair. I mean, I was trying to keep an open mind and be positive, but yeah, I think you're right. I mean, it certainly raises eyebrow. The article lastly goes on to mention the hack of the whatever it was, the colonial gas thing, and they mentioned that was a ransomware attack requesting cryptocurrency for payment. That was sort of the last thing they mentioned in the article.
oh, interesting. So if they paid in Bitcoin, then maybe they could trace it to Binance, and then now they're investigating Binance.
Possible. Did they pay?
Pure speculation.
Yeah, like you said, it's more of a tax thing. I think it's more of a scare tactic because as soon as anybody hears anything about Uncle Sam, the normal everyday American gets scared shitless, and then they're like, oh, I don't know. So I think this is like a scare tactic.
I mean, again, the only reason why I think it seems different is because we've seen these things with Coinbase when, the IRS issues them a letter for transaction data. We saw them issue it with Poloniex and Circle. And this specifically says probe. I mean, it's interesting. They calls out chain analysis in it. It just seems different. I mean, I've read all those, those articles, and they're not written this way.
Yeah, but it could be written that way just because that was the writer's take on a very vague set of circumstances.
Possibly, but just don't I guess don't use Bitcoin to commit.
Yeah, good advice.
As far as the Binance is concerned, hi, I'm Nate. Sorry to just kind of jump in without being introduced. The Bank Secrecy Act is the big leash and collar that the federal government has on every financial institution that does any financial business in the United States. And I think what the investigation probably has a lot to do with, it is a scare tactic, and they've used this since 1970, is you have to report a number transactions within a period of a day of more than $10,000 from any entity, either coming or going in the form of cash. And they're probably going over the documentation to make sure that they're on the up and up. And while you've got somebody that was actually a regulator that has been hired by Binance, they probably already knew that they had something wrong and they had to fix it.
Absolutely. Thanks for chiming in, Nate. And of course, you can always chime in. And if anybody wants to give their opinions on any particular news story, raise your hand. We'll bring you up. So thank you for that. We'll jump down to Mark. Take it away.
Hey guys, looks like the Ed Carpenter racing team is going to roll a Bitcoin sponsored car in the Indy 500, so that's kind of cool. Looks like read a little bit of the blurbs from this, but Ed Carpenter Racing this week announced that the number 21 Chevrolet that will be driven by Rinus VeeKay in the 105th Indianapolis 500 will be sponsored by Bitcoin. Team owner Ed Carpenter said that he is invested in Bitcoin and he helped cook up the wild idea that the cryptocurrency might be able to fund a race team. Strike founder Jack Mallers is facilitating the transfer of funds to allocate the sponsorship dollars to Bitcoin. So, and it looks like there's some pretty cool blurbs in this article, and it doesn't really say where the funds are coming from, other than that they're opening this up to donations and folks that want to get involved and sponsor the race team. And Mahlers is going to use Strike to transfer the money. So pretty good, information about, or at least some cool advocacy for both Bitcoin and then layer two solutions that are really going to facilitate the transfer of funds. But Carpenter says, I wish I'd been educated and understood it earlier than what I did. Carpenter told Autoweek, the whole movement is amazing. I really believe that it's the future of a lot of what our financial system is going to look like. There could be a lot of volatility in it still, but the whole premise and how it's built, there's so many positives to it that make it so valuable in the long term. Motorsports is a challenging industry. We're a sponsorship driven industry, and it's getting harder and harder to compete in the space with other race teams, with other marketers, with other sports properties. So I'm always looking for new ways to make sure that I'm running a sustainable business. I've been getting involved with this, and I see a lot of opportunity to change the way we do business. Obviously, I can't pay my Chevy contract in Bitcoin yet, but I see a future where that will change. And if I can be at the tip of the spear of that, it's a fun project and one that's also doing historic things for the Bitcoin community as well. He goes on to talk about how he wants to educate racing fans and kind of dispel some of the myths and fears and FUD around Bitcoin. So I think it's a pretty cool opportunity to bring Bitcoin to a segment of the population that isn't there yet. So pretty cool story.
Absolutely. I think you'll reach that demographic, like you just said, of people that have no idea. So I think that's pretty dope, pretty bullish news for Bitcoin. Thank you, Mark, for that. And again, this is Chris, or Bitcoin Chris, with Cafe Bitcoin. This is the Bitcoin News Hour. If you want to present any new news, change your profile pic to that news article, screenshot it, change your profile pic, raise your hand, we'll bring you up on stage. And make sure you're following Cafe Bitcoin and the moderators, so that way anytime we do open up these rooms, you know what's going on. With that being said, we'll jump down to Lightning Sats, aka CJ.
All right, how's it going, Chris? So, here we got a woman who forced a Dogecoin millionaire to ejaculate inside her at gunpoint, and I think we have another reason not to shitcoin. It's the unintended consequences of shitcoining here versus being a low time preference Bitcoin.
Is that a real article?
Is that
I think
This
that
is
is. I
this
saw.
is a real article.
is it really from National Enquirer?
I may have wrote it. No, I didn't write it.
Well, guys, let me say this about that. A lot of people are going to put their money in shitcoins, and they're looking for a quick short-term gain to try to catch up to Bitcoin's 10-year returns. Nobody ever thinks about the long term. So when you're thinking about a year, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years out, the safest bet for you guys and your money, as we all know. However, there's 8,000 plus shitcoins that are just coming out and more every single day. Sheeb, and Dogecoin are just two of the ones that are very popular now, but even those are down significantly. So the point is, if you don't want to lose your money, I mean, those shitcoins are, who knows what's going to happen, right? But eventually when it's priced in Bitcoin, when it's
Well,
priced in,
markets make people.
absolutely. When it's priced in Bitcoin, everything is going down, trending down. So thank you for that, CJ. And with that,
Chris,
go ahead, sir.
tell PTR. Tell me, it's an old publication. But
Go ahead. Go ahead.
oh,
We'll take it away, Sydney.
no. I don't got to take it away. I just want you.
No, I'm. Let's see. It says yacht company says they'll take other cryptocurrencies for payment. They're going to be the ones hurting.
No. We don't accept other ones. Just Bitcoin. That I don't know why they wrote. But yeah, we use everything. We use BitPay, and then that's the only currency.
Why use BitPay and not use BTC Pay?
Maybe we need to just be informed to use another platform if you recommend it. Like, just tell me like the pros and cons of using that.
Yeah, so like BitPay is a centralized company that charges you fees for accepting Bitcoin, right? And BTC Pay Server is an open source piece of software that you can download and run, and you do not pay them any fees at all. You collect all the Bitcoin that is sent to you without paying any sort of transaction fee whatsoever.
Interesting. And do they have like a cap on the kind of amount that you can use or run through the?
No, because you don't have an account with them. It's fully decentralized. You run it on top of your own node, and you can either select receiving on-chain payments or on-chain and Lightning, or I guess just Lightning if you want to. But you do it on top of your own node, so the limit is what your inbound capacity is for Lightning, and then on-chain, I guess the sky's the limit. Anyone can send you a UTXO for any amount. So it's not centralized, so they wouldn't control these things. Many Bitcoin companies currently use BTC Pay Server, and even the scammer Elon and his company were using it for the very short amount of time that they were accepting Bitcoin.
Interesting. Thank you for the recommendation.
No problem.
Excellent. Thank you for that information, Sydney. Definitely take that information and apply it and utilize that. If you're, I see Beverly has joined us. How are you? I don't know if you're able to talk or not, but if not, it's okay. We'll jump over to.
Hey, I'm good, thanks.
All right. All right. If you're not able to talk, we'll jump down to Robin. Take it away.
Hey guys, my big news story. It's about a day old now, but it's still near and dear to my heart. TikTok getting replaced on the Apple App Store by Coinbase, all before a mid-month payday where most people have their discretionary income come in. I'm looking for some seriously retail FOMO this week.
Let us hope that they're still wise enough to purchase Bitcoin at this point. But with Elon, putting a little damper on everything,
Wow,
uh,
that's
us Bitcoiners know this is a sales opportunity, a discounted opportunity to buy. So hopefully they.
that's pretty big that they passed freaking TikTok.
I happen to know they also overtook it on the Google Play Store as well. The top three there yesterday was Coinbase, Crypto.com, followed by Robinhood. So I have the
You know
feeling
what's
we're in for
you know
some
what's
good.
funny, guys? I also see the correlation between all the ads that I see on YouTube. I'm on YouTube a lot, and I see like every other ad is a Coinbase ad. So I think those ads are pretty effective for them to be number one on Apple and Google.
You're saying that?
Yeah, I see like every other ad that I see is a Coinbase ad.
Well, that's because it's SEO stuff. Like they know what you're looking at, so they kind of populate your ads to show.
Has anybody in here else seen those ads?
I've seen Coinbase, but you know who I've seen a ton of? Like, it's ridiculous, is Webull.
Or
That's
Gemini.
Weeble.
Yes.
Webull is everywhere.
Yeah, it
Everywhere.
says always see Webull. We accept Dodge now. Or
Yes, Doge is like it's like their selling point.
Well, I don't know about Webull, but their SEO or whatever is fire.
straight fire.
Excellent. All right.
I just saw an update on the Binance story from CZ, who just tweeted out that he, according to him, that it's misinformation and a bad title article because Binance actually collaborated with the authorities to try and take down or pinpoint the bad actors. But of course, the headlines are misleading for clicks, and no one apparently reads the full story according to him in his tweet.
That's what I was saying.
That's
Literally what we were just saying.
Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. We're
no, in a
saying,
way that we were just kind of talking about that that's possibly potentially what could have happened. So I'm actually glad to hear that.
Oh, funny.
Yeah.
I thought I was just regurgitating exactly what you guys
No,
just
no,
talked
Yeah.
about.
you're affirming our initial thought.
exactly. Thank you for the update, Sean. All right, Beverly, if you can, real quick, if you want to cover a couple.
Yeah, for sure. So basically just saying that they basically can use crypto kind of like as assets and seize them as they would like a house if you don't pay your taxes, which, obviously we're not surprised. But when I read the article and I've kind of been looking into it, and it's something that they would definitely do. So just kind of using crypto as assets to be able to seize things if you don't.
Another scare tactic. Yeah, we're gonna take your crypto. Goodbye.
Exactly.
I can't
Sweet.
believe that's an actual headline.
I know.
It's like pretty obvious, right?
These headlines do killer damage because, like we were just saying, people don't fucking read. Like, if they read the articles, they'll understand the stories, which I'm glad we do the news hour. But if we don't do the news hour, majority of the people are not reading.
Yeah, but how would they seize? I mean,
Absolutely. But the newbies don't know that.
Yeah. Absolutely. They just get scared and run, and it's a way to keep people from buying so they can just be able to continue to take money from.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that story. We're going to jump down to Catherine. Thanks for your patience.
Hi, everyone. I'm Catherine. Thanks for allowing me to share my news article with you. Basically, I just wanted to get your all commentary on what's happening today with Cardano and its rise, and how Bitcoin does cost a lot of energy to mine and transact. If there's any alternatives coming down from that. Okay, so obviously, with everything else that's going on today, Bitcoin dropping a bit, Cardano has risen some. This article basically says that the reason that it's rising is because it is supposedly supposed to consume just 1% of the energy that it takes for Bitcoin transactions to be made. And my question is that are there things that you know of or speculate may happen with Bitcoin that will make it less costly to transact?
Catherine, are you aware of the Lightning Network?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, I don't think she.
So there's a few things going on here, Catherine. One, Bitcoin is much bigger than anything else, right? So as far as what's going on with other networks, especially Cardano, and other altcoins out there, if they were to scale up to the size that Bitcoin is, you'd see some of the same sort of things going on. The other thing to do some research on is this idea of the Lightning Network, which is a second layer solution built on top of and with Bitcoin. that is going to allow it to scale and reduce transaction fees as well as everything else. So I would, if anyone wants to chime in on a better explanation.
Yeah, it's a good segue into my news hour, which is the first ever dual funded mainnet Lightning channel, which was open. So I just finished building my node and opening up a channel myself, which actually allowed me as an individual user to purchase Bitcoin by using apps that run on the Lightning Network, like Strike, for instance. So Strike is an application that you could connect your debit card, your router, fund it with the fiat cash or direct deposit it, and then you can fulfill an invoice on the Lightning Network and just buy Satoshis as quickly and as low transaction as possible. But this title is important because you have to trust someone else to initially open up that channel and sort of give you that ability to interact with that Lightning Network. This is going to give users the ability to not have to have somebody on the other end to open up a channel. So again, I'm not an expert, but I'm contributing and learning this Lightning Network, and it's just so cool. And I think it's going to blow out a lot of second layer protocols and hard forks out there that claim that they're so.
The other thing too is that you have to recognize that, and Saylor talks about this all the time, the amount of energy that Bitcoin uses is a positive because it's a marker as to how many people are actually taking a look at and monitoring the system itself. Because without the nodes, then we don't have as many people as we have that are monitoring the system, making sure that each transaction is valid. So, you take a look at Cardano or any of the other networks, and I'm just going to echo what we've already said. It's like a NASCAR race. If you've got 12 cars on the track, it's not going to take nearly as much gasoline as if all 43 cars are on the track. It's just going to take up more energy to have more people in the game.
Thank you guys. That was all very helpful. I'm just going to move myself back down to the audience now. Thank you.
No problem.
Hey, let me give one quick 5-minute search that I just did on Google. I'm just taking a look at, I put in Bitcoin energy consumption and gold mining energy consumption. Let me read you these two paragraphs. An index compiled by Digiconomist? Wow, that was a tough one. Let's keep going. That publishes estimates of Bitcoin's climate impact showed that it consumes an estimate of around 115 terawatt hours per year. Let me go to this next tab. Producing gold for the wedding band on your finger alone generates 20 tons of waste. Digimint CEO Don Wiper points out that gold mining industry, which produces between 2,500 and 3,000 tons of new gold every year, consumes the equivalent of around 131 terawatt hours per year. So you can talk about Bitcoin and the energy consumption all you want to, but the old dog is still using more.
Well, I want to point out real quick also that website has a pretty strong bias against all cryptocurrencies and energy usage. So I would look for other sources related to information. Specifically, Nick Carter writes a lot of.
And in terms of Cardano, Guy Swan with Bitcoin Audible spoke a little bit about it on his podcast this morning, and how they are actually working with the government in Sudan to try and implement and be a proxy for the government's CBDC to therefore and consequently track the financial history and everything about their citizens to set up the whole social credit system and financial asset tracking system based on the Cardano blockchain. So if you want to be part of the legacy system, go with Cardano. If you want to be decentralized and free, go with Bitcoin and the Lightning Network.
Yeah, Hoskinson's he's just over there bribing corrupt Ethiopian and Sudanese dictators and government functionaries. Let's be real. That's the only reason he's getting any traction in Africa right now.
All right, thanks for all that input. Great story to cover there. Let's continue with Bitcoin Dad. You're up next.
Hey guys, so it was just released yesterday that the first ever dual funded mainnet Lightning channel is to be opened, and this is just even more bullish for the Lightning Network that allows an individual user to open up a channel to start making transactions for themselves. And again, I have Strike set up that's connected to my Lightning wallet, and I can buy Satoshis at very low cost, and it's very fast. Like, can't even blink. So,
Excellent. Thanks for sharing that information. Does anybody? All right. Again, welcome to the Bitcoin News Hour. If you're just now tuning in, we'll do a quick recap before we end the room. But if you have a news article that we have not covered yet, change your profile pic and raise your hand, and we'll bring you up on stage to discuss. While we're waiting for that, does anybody who else bought the dip, and is anybody buying the dips today?
hell
I'm
yeah.
maxed out.
Oh, you ballin', maxed out, huh?
Yeah, I get my bonus tomorrow, and yeah, I'm going to do a smash buy tomorrow, but I dollar cost average every day now and just loving it. I don't even think about
As you shouldn't, as you shouldn't. And if you do, again, it's on sale right now. The greatest asset ever created in human history is on sale right now. And you guys get to be a part of history. You guys get to be the front runners. And you guys get to fucking say that you own this. And hope, please don't lose it. Please secure your Bitcoin. Don't lose it.
Yeah, 50% off. Yeah, I know, right? Should be like a negative number. Jeez.
I think it's like 15, 20% off. Come on now.
So I'm taking off a week of work just to literally go through everything in my house and like list and sell everything I can. My boss gave me a special vacay to do this. It's pretty cool.
Wow, nice. That's
I
awesome.
just thought about that this morning, Shelly. I was like, I really got to set some time aside to start selling it.
Beverly, we're on the same wavelength. I sent you a telepathic message.
Got it,
I
got it.
thought you were taking a whole week off for TikTok.
Oh no, TikTok, that's going to be nights and
That's a
weekends.
lot of material.
It's going to be a real hustle.
Hustle.
Shelly June said it's a.
Do you think I care what Jinseth says?
I'm just teasing you. I know you don't, but he was really going hard on like trying to like stop like what.
I love him. I love him dearly, but I'm allowed to disagree.
Why?
Absolutely.
Was it security? What was the reason? I missed the conversation.
He he was
I'll let somebody else.
no, he was just talking about, people were brainstorming on how to get Bitcoin more mainstream to people because those people are being kind of misinformed by like, headlines, titles from media. For example, IRS will seize crypto assets on failure to pay your taxes, stuff like that. So kind of like people who are on the fence that don't know anything will read that and be like, they won't even read the whole article. They'll just be like, okay, Bitcoin's like, fuck that. So, they're trying to spread more awareness, and June Seth was saying that it would actually damage uh, kind of the credibility of Bitcoin if people were to start dropping videos and fun stuff about it. But it's all about awareness.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't know if he's kind of lending towards the fact that dumb people use TikTok, or I don't believe in that kind of stuff from that angle. I believe that it's like an opportunity to reach out to millions
I
and millions
mean,
of
yeah,
users because,
he
you
came
know, we
in.
got the good work.
Yeah, he came in kind of late in the conversation. He missed a very valid point of why we even kind of discussed that. It's not the CEOs and the guys on the boards and the big wigs that we're looking to reach, but this lady, I forgot her name, she made the point of it's the kids that are watching this shit, and then people are watching TikTok and stuff at home. So like, your kids bring this up, or whoever watches TikTok will bring this up to those people because those CEOs have families, and you attack that little TikTok
And you know
market.
what? Those kids,
It's
those kids are going to educate their
that's
parents
right.
too, right? Because I've seen videos now that I'm on TikTok because I downloaded it just because of that conversation you guys were
Yeah,
having. Because I'm like, you know what? Everyone's right. Like we should be making 15-second, 30-second videos that talks about Satoshis, that talks about 100 million Satoshis, that talks about 21 million Bitcoin. Like it, just random clips that are cool. And like I can't wait to see your stuff, Shelly, and what's going to happen. Like.
So
Thank
I just
you.
question is, are you think the purpose is really more to like change the narrative around Bitcoin, or is it to like educate people and I guess sort of save them from themselves and save them from the mainstream media?
The latter, I'm not sure why we would want to
Yeah.
change the
Okay. Good.
narrative.
No,
Right.
Yeah,
that's just what I wanted to make sure that it's not sort of like countering FUD. It's more of just to like help.
yeah, it's mostly, I mean, my first idea, which, I mean, I'm not sure if people want to weigh in, that's great, but my first idea was just to do dance videos with Kaylee because people like watching and learning dance videos. And all I wanted to do was put like hashtag Bitcoin at the bottom, just something to spark interest. So I wasn't necessarily planning to initially make any educational type of videos, more just entertainment videos that people would just start seeing it and get curiosity. And then if it took off or if it picked up, then like intermittently put in a short educational video, if that makes sense. This is just my idea. I have never done anything like this before. I'm not like social media savvy or famous, but I, I
That
know.
makes a lot more sense. I was just hearing people yesterday talking about like putting out like New York Times editorials or something like that. And I'm not sure if that.
Yeah, I
Not
don't think
yet.
anybody would
No, that.
care.
That's funny. But Shelly, what I wanted to say was, I think that's a great idea, no matter how you go about it, because as long as you're spreading awareness, you're actually doing that. Which is why I post what I post on, as much as I post on Twitter. I get tons of new followers every day, and I'm sure they're already into the space, obviously. But for Instagram and Facebook, there's like a whole demographic of people that don't even know anything about it. And then, like you said, you're hitting TikTok, so I think everyone should do their own little like informative videos for your family and for your friends and for people that follow you, because we all have our own branches that we reach out to different people. So if we all do it collectively, then we educate them. Not only are we making some fucking serious gains, it's the new way of technology, it's the new way of money, and it's just a way for us to do what we like to do, but we can help our friends at the same.
Yeah, and hopefully Beverly will be shooting these videos, so they will be professional.
Yo, she got a new lens too.
Yes, absolutely. Ooh, in Miami, let's shoot things. I'm bringing.
Yes, yes, let's do that. But can we do it indoors so we're not sweaty?
Wherever you want to do it, let's do it. I
Speaking of videos, we have CEO Sam on stage. Nice to meet you. My name is Chris, aka Bitcoin Chris. So thanks for being on Telegram. You're in
How's it
California.
going, guys?
He's from Visalia.
Yeah, Sam, I see that Sony A7 in your profile. Same.
Oh yeah, I love it. I just got the A7 III, and I love it. And I live in the great Central Valley, California.
Perfect. Let's see here. And make sure you smash by if you didn't smash by yet. CEO Sam, I'm sure you have Bitcoin already, correct?
Yes, sir. I bought the dip, so I'm pretty excited.
Let's go. All right.
So there
So
is one thing that kind of a fun thought. I don't know, maybe just like a question that I was just thinking. Like at conference, do you think that everyone is gonna smash by all at?
yeah, super mega fucking smash by. Hell yeah, that would be.
Yeah, what the hell is that song where everyone's like frozen? Like everyone jumps in there and then it's like just like drops, right? Like smashed by something like a music video like that or something. That.
Yes, please keep coming with these music videos.
No, but it got me thinking though about the whole TikTok thing, right? Like how ridiculously stupid it is to just stand in front of an exotic car, right? And my buddy's a auto detailer, and man, you should see some of the cars, right? I mean, beautiful cars, Bugattis, Ferraris, all the things you could think of. All I got to do is stop by while he's cleaning the freaking car and just maybe stand next to the freaking thing, post a TikTok, and even that will just get thousands of hits.
Yeah, definitely not my style, but if it works, it works.
Yeah,
So I suppose we could do
it seemed degrading, I know.
it. I just if I'm standing by a car, I like it to be mine. But I've heard that a lot of people have gotten success by doing that
Isn't that what's
tactic.
going on in Miami though? Like when I first visited
Shut
Miami, I thought everybody was rich, but then I realized that they were just renting those like
Yeah, I'm not into stunting.
flex.
Yeah, stunning is like, oh, it's like worthless. It's like when you understand money, it's like it's worthless. Especially when you can buy Bitcoin with all that bread. You like reevaluate everything. I'm like, no, it's not gonna do nothing.
So one TikTok I'm gonna make. I haven't done it yet because I want to organize my sale first. But I took some pictures of my truck and I put a little slider on it on Instagram for people to vote if I should sell my truck for Bitcoin. And I saved it. And then I took video when I was actually at the dealership selling my truck. So I want to do the one where it says, "Don't do it, girl. Don't do it." And then it's gonna be like, "She did it."
That,
I think it's gonna be cool.
how about the whole chair and table things, right? Everybody talking about selling their chairs, right? You should just have like a family sitting at a table on chairs, and then like dad just looks at his app, sells the fucking chairs, and everybody just like falls to the floor. You know, isn't that how it works? All the
That would be, yeah, that'd be funny. That's a good one for sure. And then we can make it a trend.
Yeah, like the stinky leg, except we'll do the Satoshi walk or something nice and this.
Yeah, we're gonna come up with the dance. If Kaylee doesn't do it, I'm gonna do it. Mine will probably be a lot cheesier. Hers would be cooler, but
Hey, do what you got to do. All right. With that being said, make sure you are following Cafe Bitcoin if you haven't been following Cafe Bitcoin already. What's up, good guy biker? What's going on, Zay? What's going on, Sola?
Enjoying these beautiful dips. I'm buying this.
Yes, Chris. Yeah, I'm buying the dip, and I'm already waiting for more funds to come in so that I can buy more dips.
That's right. Let's go.
Sometimes I like the FUD, Chris. Sometimes I like.
Yeah, so if no one else has any more stories, I don't see anybody with any more stories. Anybody have any news that we didn't cover? If not, we'll do a quick recap.
Well, I'll just make a quick comment, and it was just something I saw on Twitter, right? So, but the comment was that there's over $300 million on the Lightning Network in liquidity. So I think that's very bullish, and we're going to see, a billions.
Yeah, I mean, I get a lot of my news. I love Twitter, and if you don't have Twitter, make sure you have Twitter. Make sure you follow all your Twitter friends and all your Bitcoin friends from this app over on Twitter. You get news in real time. You may not like it, but it's good to have. It's a great opportunity to see what's going on in real time all over the world. People's thoughts, a lot of crazy shit on there, a lot of fucking toxic Bitcoin Bitcoinery going on over there. So if you saw, it's probably not the place for you, but it's a great place to be at. Just to be able, like I said, to get news in real time. So I'm on Twitter. Everybody on here should be on Twitter, and you should definitely have that in your link so we can follow you as well. And if you haven't smash bought yet, please go ahead and smash buy. And with that being said, I think we can do a quick recap. Shelly, can you do a quick recap of the?
oh yeah, absolutely. So the story that I had posted about was Coinbase's revenue tripling from last quarter. And pull it back up here. Ooh, okay, here we go. So Coinbase's shares were down 4% this Thursday, despite revenue and net income skyrocketing in the first quarter, as the trading platform capitalized on a boom in crypto prices, and the result largely matched the estimates that Coinbase delivered on April 6th, about a week before its public debut. And the way that it increased was it started at 585 million in the previous quarter, and it was up to 1.8 billion. And prior to that, it was 177. It was over. It was the company's net profit for the quarter was 771 million, so more than 4 times what it was in 2020's Q4. And it's 24 times higher than a year ago. So that's pretty impressive. And the monthly transactions doubled from the previous quarter, from 2.8 to 6.1 million. And of Coinbase's 56 million verified users, they had record-breaking price moves in the market, which was led by Bitcoin, of course, and Ethereum.
All right, my recap is that basically Michael Saylor bought the dips like a true Bitcoiner, bullish as fuck. So make sure you're buying the dips as well. Justin, if you want, quickly recap yours.
Sure. Argo blockchain is bought some data centers up in Quebec, Canada, that are going to be run on hydropower. So they're just gonna keep going with their mining, Bitcoin green mining.
Bullish. Let's go. Sean, if you remember.
Oh yeah, one more today. It seems like the Bitcoin. I don't know if this was mentioned, but it seems like the Bitcoin ransom that was put on the oil pipeline infrastructure that was supplying the East Coast was paid. So from my information, it looks like they did pay the Bitcoin today to the hackers, and they have restored their databases, and they will be on turning all that equipment back on to full production. So very.
Alex, I heard it was 5 million. Is that
Yeah,
right?
I was told 5 million on the chat room.
So can you give some perspective on why they're still wanting to get paid in Bitcoin if it's all visible on the blockchain, and how they can actually get away with that?
Because Bitcoin's pseudo-anonymous, so based on your security practices, you can still keep it safe, or rather, you can also engage with that Bitcoin in jurisdictions outside of those regions' control. So often these people are based in other countries, in other parts of the world, and often Bitcoin is what they're all after in the end. So in times when slippage and trading fees are very high, I can certainly understand why they would want that directly in Bitcoin, because they're going to get their $5 million regardless. Why not get it in the king of those cryptocurrencies?
What a show, folks! Thank you to everyone who contributed and to everyone who listened in. Don't forget to join Cafe Bitcoin by clicking on Cafe Bitcoin at the top left of your screen. And remember to find our full schedule of events at cafebitcoin.club. We hope to see you again next time for the Bitcoin News Hour.